Dr. Neon here. A lot of people ask me, how do you make this stuff? There's so much. How do you do it? Well, we're in the metal shop. We have everything divided up in my shop. Everything is divided up. This is my plasma table. This is what I program and cut all my repetitive art out of. I do everything on a computer and then it cuts it out. This over here is a hand-cut plasma machine for hand-cutting plasma. And over here is our pounding table for rounding the fish, and the sanders. Now these are all different various grinders that I use, thousands of different kinds of grinders. So instead of me stopping to change bits, I just have 20 different grinders. And over here, this is my water-cooled TIG. Now I prefer TIG welding because it's a cleaner and it's more precise and it's more art-like. This is a water-cooled machine. This is a TIG welder. This is a TIG MIG welder. This does both TIGging and MIGging and aluminum.
Wow.
That's a little TIG welder, or a little MIG welder. And then over there is a little tiny TIG that I use for making my toy airplane, stainless steel. And that there next to it is called a planishing hammer. This is a brake for making bends. You stick your metal in there and you bend it. This is a sandblaster, so we can sandblast our pieces when we're done. Drill press.
And this is the control, the electronic control for the.
That's the controller that I do everything
for the tracker plasma.
And over here, this is a 3-gas, 3-tank torch, and it actually puts out flux so that my bronze flows beautifully onto my steel. And I sit here and on these little things, and this is where I put all the bronze rod on everything. And then these are all the various tools that I use for attaching stuff.
And this is just one of 5 different shops.
This is going to be better.
Alright, so this is the conch that we're started to cut out, and then the machine has done its job.
That's funny, you say conch, I say conch salad, not conch salad.
Oh well.
So, right now it's kind of one-dimensional. It's flat. Alright. Now this is a leather bag full of BBs. BB! BB! These are nylon hammers. They're curved, so I can get my patterns to what I want it to do. I want no bone-headed woman. She give me love, Lord. She give me love. I want no bald-headed woman. Give love, Lord. You give me love. No bald-headed woman. Give me love, Lord. Give me love. No bald-headed woman. Love, Lord. Give me love. So.
And there we are.
Now that's starting to take shape. Now we're going to come back in. Now you can't go too deep because it's going to hang on a wall. So, for it to hang on a wall, I cut these tabs out of scrap, from the stuff that's on the table. And I come over here and I put it down, and this is a spot welder, and it welds a tiny little spot. I can't imagine hanging on any other way but that. Yeah. So Now you can heat it up, but that kind of takes the color out since we're grinding. Well, that's hot right there. Let me tell you, I felt that.
What, from the spot weld?
Oh yeah. Your hand always goes for the hottest spot.
Yeah, sure.
So at the end of the day, I can't lift this hand to do anything. And I'm doing 10, 15 different fish. You know, for my museum collection here. My Metaquarium. So there it is. Now we're going to grind it, put a ground finish on it, and then we'll put our pink and white solvents. But I like that a lot. Now if I made 2 of these, I could make the backpack for Captain Nemo.
Yeah, right.
And the Nautilus. And somebody built a model Nautilus ship. I would like to make myself a Nautilus. Or Robespierre's, you know, all of Jules Verne stuff, you know, steampunk. I like steampunk. Alright.
And cut.
This is Bentley.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He just lays in this shit. He don't bother him at all.
Schweinhund.
Nuts, bolts, you gotta have everything.
Yep.
Now over here, this is a press. People always ask me, how do you do that? You must buy that stuff. You know, this is a flat circle I cut out all my scrap. I put it in this die, and I come up here. I wouldn't want to get my hand caught in there. Like we're making cars. That's basically how we dome right there. Then we'll weld around it, and boom, done. This is my lathe. It's older than me, and it's also from Chicago. This is where I do all my machine tooling and everything for all the parts. And usually you use a lathe for when you're building other machines. That's what I use that for. This is my mill. This is where I cut and mill, you know, another machine tool. Right now it's set up, cut tubing for that project I'm working on over there. This is my English wheel. Sometimes they're called French wheels. It's hard to say who really developed it. Probably the French, but the English certainly have done well with it. And that's for contouring metal shapes. You run the metal through here on the beads, and that's how that works. The big body parts. Keep your fingers out of it. These are all various metal cutting tools: shears, notch cutters, presses, saws. This is a new machine I just got, new for me. This is a roller. This is a roller, and it rolls. I'm making my own jewelry flasks because I lost all my stainless steel flasks, so I got some stainless, and I use it for art. I do curves, I do all sorts of panels and stuff with it. It's a heavy puppy. But this is called a slip roller. And it comes apart and you slip in your metal and you can do curves. That machine over there does fancy little bends on wrought iron. This machine over here is called a slitter. And what it is it cuts metal in strips. About 2 feet is about as wide as you can cut. But when you don't have a big shear, this really comes in handy. And over here, the machine behind it is a tube bender for bending tube. And this machine over here is a crimper and roller. And it embosses metal and puts styles into it. These are various buffers.
Bulldog.
Yeah. Now that yellow airline needs to be set up with here's my chainsaw that I do my massacring with.
Nice.
This is my wood shop. This is where I do all my woodworking and fabrication of everything that I make in wood.
Geez, Doc, there's a ton of bits and tools.
Oh, I have way too much. Here's my toy train set up here hanging.
You got
that together here because I had no room for my outdoor train. So these are all my chop saws and screws and planers and lathes and wood lathes and sanders, and here's some elkhorn.
So heck, you can cut a 20-foot piece of.
Well, look at this piece of oak right here that we're cutting. I mean, we just got done trimming that up for making some doors. And then that's all my batteries back there, and then all those red boxes.
And this is an elkhorn for the knife.
I'm not going to cut that up. It's such a nice piece. I'm going to use it as a display. What do you think?
It is a nice piece.
Yeah, it's a nice piece. Usually I use little smaller pieces for that stuff. And then this is my electronics bench. And all my power tools are stored over here in these bins. We have 10 of everything. I do all my electronics, my oscilloscopes and everything. Somebody left that soldering iron on. I'd throw that away. And then over here, I'm working on knives. And we're making sheaths for all our knives. And there's some fish that I just got done cutting out. And here's a koi. Look how pretty that is, huh?
That's what Kelly was working on.
Yeah, Kelly was helping me with that. And then we're sewing all these leather sheaths for all the knives. I bought a new sewing machine over here. This is my bandsaws and jigsaws and clamps and things for cutting. There you go.
All right, and where are we now, Doc?
Now we're in my jewelry shipping and handling and lapidary and foundry and my glass. This is a glass kiln over here that I do slump glass with. This is my new.
That's the new.
My new
sewing machine you were telling me
about. Sews up to 7/8 of an inch. So we're making all our own sheaths. Because we make all our own knives. And that's how we do that. And then this is my casting machine. And this is how I cast all the pieces. So when I make a rubber mold and I carve it out of Scopi, and I then embed it right into the blade, right into the mold, and cast the metal right around it. So these are all, every one of these, they look like film canisters. Every one of these is a mold of something that I've made. And these are my presses for my leather stamping and stuff. And these are my old wax molds for doing hard casting. This is for silver and gold. This is a wax injector. This is a small vulcanizer for making your little wax molds. This is my
jewelry bench.
This is my fine silver jewelry bench. Over here is my melting. There's my melting furnace. Over here is this machine. Over here is a casting machine for debubbleizing and vacuum casting. And my kiln is here on the floor because we're not casting anything hard today. And then there's my buffer. And that green machine over there is my polisher, and that's how I polish everything. Because you can't hand polish anything. The stuff we make is just too much.
And this sucker is noisy.
Yeah, it's real noisy. So we tend to run it only at night.
Yeah, the neighbors love it.
Yeah, and it's filled with ceramic bits, and they polish.
Knife? Is that what that is?
And I think that is a knife. Why, yes, it is. This is a new knife I just made. I really like that, though.
Yeah, Kelly was showing me those.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Nice little pocket knife. And then there's all my marbles for all the stuff I stuff into stuff. And then over here is my lapidary. So I try and grind all my own stones. Grinding marbles, grinding all sorts.
How do you find time to do it all?
I don't know. I don't sleep. There's my lapidary machine, and then this is my glass seamer, which I use for everything. This is plating solution for doing gold plating and silver plating, rhodium plating. I do plating because some people want to, you know, that kind of finish. And these are my neon spark plug wires that I make.
Shipping department.
Get over to the neon shop yet. And then this is a magnetic polishing machine I made. It's pretty cool. It's a magnet spin and it's a little steel shot. And it just turns everything. Very cool machine. And then this is leather and all my leather cutting stuff. You know, leather tools and stamps and more pewter, and it's just crazy here, you know.
So what is it you can't do besides nuclear physics?
Well, I have a minor in nuclear physics. I do cold fusion all the time. And there's UV, and then I got 2 more storage lockers there. This is where we finish our fish out here.
Yeah, all these art pieces are hand finished, right?
Yeah. This is a flounder. You remember Bullwinkle and the flounder?
Yeah, I lobster and then I flounder.
Yeah, no. Fan meal, some from some flounder.
Yeah.
Again? Nothing but sleeve. Presto.
You do that well.
So
these are dyes and tints?
they're patinas. They're actual acids and patinas and
Solvents.
things. And solvents and stuff. And we're putting on, you know, this like a flounder blends, and Kelly's got a chart we printed up of how the fish, you know, what they're supposed to, all the
like.
different colors. And that's enough of that. And then before it gets too hot, I'm starting to make more knives, and this is my forging area, and this is my little furnace, and right here are some chain knives I'm making. This is motorcycle chain, Harley chain. And I weld it up and I heat it up, and then I come up to this machine here, 1895, and it pounds. It's my hammer because I'm getting too old. You know, a hand pound.
Sure enough, power hammer.
Hammers, it's power hammer, and it does all my work. This is an old table. This thing weighs about 30 tons. It came out of a Navy ship here down from San Diego. Slide your finger right there, would you please?
What are we doing here?
Take a chain here and we're going to compress the whole chain down into a knife blade. Over here we got the forge, we got one cooking right now. Inside. I'm going to draw this one down, make it like that one. Right now,
That's flattening out.
that's drawing down to a nice flat.